I had no idea what to expect from The Curious Case of Santa Claus, and having now watched it, I can say that if you are in the mood for something different, kind of educational, not the best in terms of the quality of the production, but still rather interesting, then I'd say it's worth checking out. This was released in 1982. It's directed by Crichton, written by Bob Larbey, and it stars James Coco as Santa and Jon Pertwee as Dr. Merryweather. And I'm not entirely sure how serious this is taking itself, because 2 minutes into this film, the whole thing is, I think, about 50 something minutes. 2 minutes in, the receptionist says to Jon Pertwee, "You're the doctor," which just made me laugh quite a lot. He is actually a psychiatrist, and Santa Claus has gone to see him on Christmas Eve because, well, because there are a lot of Santa Clauses everywhere. However, at the same time, it's not exactly a well thought out narrative, because this is why he's going to see the doctor. And at the same time, he is very well aware of how much of an impact he has had as Santa Claus over the centuries. So it shouldn't be bizarre to him or cause him any, well, maybe it could cause him some problems, but it shouldn't be a peculiar situation for him to suddenly see versions of himself everywhere. I don't know, maybe it's something Santa Claus has struggled with from day one, as soon as people started to impersonate him, and only now is he deciding to get mental health help? I don't know, but I do feel like it's maybe not the best thought out narrative. And basically, the film, while Santa Claus is in the chair talking to the doctor, he's basically telling him the history of Santa Claus. And we have a lot of footage of different countries, different locations, some really horrible sounds. A lot of the sounds of some of the clips are really loud compared to the sounds of the rest of it. Not constantly, but every now and then. So if you're wearing headphones or if you have the sound up quite high, that's something that's worth bearing in mind. And we get a bit of an overview over the course of just under an hour, an overview of Santa Claus, how he came to be, and how different countries perceive him, and how things have developed over the years. I don't know how factually accurate a lot of it is, so I did take it all with a pinch of salt, but it is still quite fascinating. Most of the footage doesn't really feel Christmassy, which makes sense, because it is the history of Santa Claus, and it wasn't all tinsels and baubles from day one, so I understand why that's the case. But if you're looking for something that has a strong festive feel, other than the appearance of Santa Claus, this isn't really going to be that film. And honestly, the scenes where we have Santa Claus and the Doctor, it's very low production. There's not a lot of detail to it. The lighting isn't particularly great, and it doesn't look that engaging. So visually, that part of it isn't great, but the conversations between the Doctor and Santa Claus were pretty interesting. The history aspect I did find fascinating, but as I said, I don't know how accurate it is. The clips themselves were abundant. There are definitely a lot of clips in this of different locations, different countries, different people, but they're maybe not the most engaging to watch. Some of them absolutely, some of them not so much. It isn't brilliant, but it is interesting. And if you're in the mood for something that is a very easy watch, that could provide some historical information, or indeed if you like James Coco or Jon Pertwee, then I'd say it's worth checking out. Very easy to watch, a little bit of Christmas in there, some education, but again, not sure how accurate it is. If you know anything about that, please feel free to share some information. If you're looking for a fun, festive, high-quality production, this isn't going to be it. But if it does sound like it appeals to you, I'd say it's worth watching probably once. I doubt I'd ever watch it again. But as a one-time watch, it was okay. There are some good bits, there are some less good bits. But in general, I thought The Curious Case of Santa Claus, despite needing a little bit of work, was not too bad.